You know, in Web3, we're always told that our private keys are everything. They're the keys to our own personal bank vault. But what if I told you there's a different kind of threat out there, one that can empty that entire vault without ever even seeing your keys? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on crypto drainers and showing you how one single, innocent-looking click can cost you everything.
All right, just imagine for a sec. This is your wallet. It's looking pretty good, right? You've got some valuable tokens, maybe a couple of NFTs you're really proud of. This number represents a ton of hard work, smart moves, and maybe a little bit of luck.
And then, poof, with one click, it's all gone. The entire balance just vanished. Now, this wasn't some hacker brute forcing their way in. This was something you actually authorized yourself, probably without even realizing what you were doing.
Okay, so what exactly is a crypto drainer? Well, you can think of it like phishing as a service. Scammers use these pre-made kits, you might have heard of the infamous Inferno drainer, to set up these trap websites. And here's the crucial part. They're not trying to steal your seed phrase. Their goal is way more sneaky. They want to trick you into signing a transaction that gives them permission to take everything.
So how in the world do they pull this off? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to walk through the entire anatomy of this digital heist, step by step, so you can see exactly how a moment of excitement turns into a complete disaster. The whole attack really unfolds in 4 main stages. It all starts with a really tempting lure, then moves to what looks like a totally normal wallet connection. After that comes the malicious request, and it all ends with one final, fatal signature.
First up, the bait. Attackers are masters at this. They'll take over a verified social media account, or they'll run these super professional-looking ads promoting something that's almost impossible to resist. Think a free NFT mint from a huge artist, or an exclusive airdrop for a token that's about to pop. They're absolute pros at creating urgency and that feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out.
So you click the link. The website looks legit. It asks you to connect your wallet, which, is a totally standard thing in Web3. But here's where the trick begins. The very moment you hit connect, a nasty little script on that site starts quietly scanning your wallet in the background. It's taking inventory, identifying your most valuable assets to target for the heist. Once that script knows what you've got, it automatically cooks up a special transaction designed to drain those specific things. But the pop-up you see on your screen, it's cleverly disguised. It's not going to say, hey, let me transfer all your ape coin. Nope. It's going to say something really innocent sounding, like claim free tokens or verify wallet ownership.
And this right here, this brings us to the most critical moment in this entire process. That little confirmation box that pops up from your wallet, it's not what it looks like. So the big question is, what are you actually about to approve? Now, there are 2 main traps they set, and you've got to know them. The first is an unlimited token approval. This is basically like giving a scammer's contract a blank check. You're giving it permission to withdraw all of a specific token from your wallet, not just now, but forever. The second one, set approval for all, is for your NFTs. This one is even worse. It gives the contract permission to transfer every single one of your NFTs from a whole collection.
So let's be crystal clear about this. When you see a prompt that mentions something like set approval for all, and you click confirm, you are not claiming a free item. You are signing a legally binding, on-chain permission slip that lets an attacker just walk in and take your stuff. And here's the kicker. As far as the blockchain is concerned, it's a completely valid transaction. Why? Because you approved it.
Okay, I know that all that sounds pretty terrifying, and it is. But now we're going to shift gears, because the good news is you are absolutely not powerless against these attacks. Not at all. In fact, once you understand how these drainers work, you can build a really powerful defense. It honestly all comes down to 3 core principles, 3 layers of security that will keep your assets right where they belong, with you. It's this simple. First, you scrutinize the source. Second, you scrutinize the signature itself. And third, you practice good hygiene by revoking old permissions regularly. Let's break down exactly what that means. Layer 1 is your first and best line of defense. Remember, drainers live on fake websites, so just don't click on links from DMs, from random emails, or from those sketchy sponsored ads you see. Always go directly to the official verified sources, the project's official Twitter, their Discord, or a website you've already bookmarked. If an offer sounds way too good to be true, it's because it is. That's the bait.
This is it. your final checkpoint, the moment of truth. Before you ever click that confirm button, you have to stop and actually read the details. Look for these massive red flags. Is it asking to set an allowance to max or to an infinite amount? Does it mention that dreaded set approval for all function? Are the gas fees looking weirdly high for what's supposed to be a simple claim? If you see any of these, you hit reject immediately, no hesitation.
All right, and for our third layer of defense, this one isn't about reacting to a threat in the heat of the moment. This is about being proactive. It's a critical security habit that you've just got to build into your routine. You know, a lot of these drainer attacks work because they exploit permissions you granted weeks or even months ago and then completely forgot about. That's why you have to regularly audit your wallet. Use trusted tools like revoke.cash or go to the token approvals page on Etherscan. These sites will show you every single contract that has permission to touch your funds, and they let you revoke that access with just a click.
And this analogy is just perfect. Think about it. You wouldn't use the same password for your bank account forever, right? Of course not. So why would you leave these old, unnecessary permissions open on your crypto wallet? Making this a monthly habit, it's just like changing the code on your bank vault. It's simple, it's essential, and it keeps you safe.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. Be honest with yourself. When was the last time you actually went in and checked which applications and contracts have access to your funds? At the end of the day, your security is in your hands. Staying vigilant with these 3 layers of defense is the absolute key to making sure your digital assets stay truly yours.